Hello.
Hello.
We were just talking about how neither of us are in our normal setup. We don't have our mics. We're just out here on a hope and a prayer and some headphones, earpods, if you will.
Yeah, off location. Like I'm at my church here in North Oakland and Tracy's out of town in Milwaukee and just we're just doing it up here, but we're ready to go and
We're
serve
ready to
our
go.
GH Sunday shift community.
Can I just say that I feel like the show was so bad last week that nobody asked us where we were. Like usually, because I forgot to put up something that said that we weren't gonna be recording, and nobody. People usually are like, "Hey, are you guys okay?" It's always so kind, and I think people were just like, "Oh, the show was bad. They probably didn't.
Probably like I don't even
There's
want to
nothing to
talk
say."
about it. I don't even want to hear about it. It's
Oh, it's just really, really bad. But anyway, how aside from not being home, how are you?
I'm doing okay. I'm going to be taking some time off of work because I've been doing a lot, and
Hmm.
I'm gonna spend the month kind of focusing on just on my health and on the campaign.
Well, your health is number one.
Great. But
Yeah.
yeah, not doing two or three jobs at the same time is not good for my health. So I need to take a step back off of one, focus on the other, and get my health straight,
Yeah.
establish a routine, and then keep going. Finished the Acolyte, and now I have started all over again, watching all of the Star Wars from beginning to end. Why? Because I do have other shows I could be watching, but it doesn't matter because I feel like anytime I just get a little bit of Star Wars, I feel like I have to finish the whole set all over again. So I have problems. I'm diagnosing myself in this that I have a Star Wars problem, and so I need therapy. But until then, I'm just gonna have to keep watching my show. And then once that is over, I will flip back to Star Trek, start watching all those all over again too. So those are my comfort shows. That's
That's a
it.
great problem to have. Of all the things that could be wrong, you're like, I watch too much Star Wars. All right. Yeah, I have just had a lot of anxiety just with like life and whatever. And so when that happens, a lot of times I will also go back to watching the same shows.
Yeah.
Um and so the show I used to watch called Smash, it's so bad, but it's so good bad. No, it's bad
Yeah.
bad. Anyway,
It's
um it's about Catherine McPhee plays this girl who like leaves from this small town and goes to New York, and like she's trying to be on Broadway. It was on NBC years and years ago, and I'd always be like, "Why isn't it on Peacock?"
Oh, that's right. It was
Yeah,
only on for like one season, right?
two
Two?
seasons.
Okay.
Hmm. And so what makes it unbelievable is that you're like Megan Hilty, who is like God tier Broadway star, is like the character who's up against Catherine McPhee, and you're supposed to believe that Catherine McPhee is better than her. And I'm like, is not giving. It's like she is better. Megan is better.
Catherine
But
McPhee, she was on American Idol.
she's American Idol. She's good, but can I be shady? I don't care about being shady. She's not a good actress. And so the
Okay.
thing about it is like the show within the show is them doing Marilyn Monroe. So if you look at Megan Hilty, they do like a musical about Marilyn Monroe. Somebody wrote it. Megan Hilty is like connected. Her character, she's connected. She's like a blonde bombshell. And
Okay.
Catherine McPhee has like brown hair. Like it's just no, no, no. Anyway,
Yeah.
but it's so terribly good. Oh, it's so terribly good. I love it so much. And so that's what I've been watching. Season one is
Nice.
terrible. Season two is terrible, terrible. It's like terrible for different reasons, but do I find it
Good, terrible.
comforting?
Good, terrible.
I should probably find something good to watch because sadly, our show has not been good. However, We sometimes do still have good performances. So Tanya, who's our performer of the week? You are so funny.
I do this because it seems like I keep picking the same people, and they're most likely because they're my favorite people. And so if they're in a bad story, I still love them anyway.
Yeah.
So um, I, you know, shout out to Laura Wright playing Carly, making bad decisions, but she does it so well.
Hmm.
Um, I think the scenes that she had with Sonny in the jail, and even before the jail, when she was telling him, yeah, I'm not gonna, fix your problems. I think both of them did very well. Um, Anna, I don't know if this was this week or last week, but Vanilla Hughes, um, trying to reconcile that she is letting Valentine get away with a crime, but also, struggling with whether or not she should help Jason, was really great to me as well. Maura West is always phenomenal, even if she's bad. She's hella bad. Bad, bad,
Hmm.
bad girl. Looking good at being
Looking
bad.
really
Looking
good.
looking really good at it. Love her as well. Um, yeah.
Yeah. No, that
That's
sounds
pretty
right to
much
me.
it.
Those are the three I
I
have.
yeah, I hesitate because I think last time I gave shout outs to was it Kristen Vaganos who's playing Molly. I gave
Hmm.
her a shout out before, but now I'm not I don't want to give her a shout out even though her scene with Kristina was really like it pissed me off because she
At
pissed
her,
me off as Molly. Yes, I was
I am
pissed.
Team Molly. That's so
Right,
interesting.
because and maybe we'll talk about it if we do when we do the deep dive, but I thought it was so I almost do want to give her props for pissing me off instead of boring me to death, but yeah, it's hard. But yeah, shout out to those scenes.
Well, you know what?
I
Let's
didn't
start
like them.
there. Let's start there.
Yeah,
Or let's start with that storyline. So one, I
yeah,
also before we go there, I do want to like just say absolutely those three actresses, Vanola Hughes, Laura Wright, Maura West, every
yeah,
week showing up, showing out, absolute queens. It does not matter how I feel about their characters. I want to see them on my screen always.
right,
They take the worst story and they just spin it. And you can see the emotion, you can see the effort. Just shout out to those queens every time.
right.
And
Every
also
time.
Jane Elliott was good this week.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
But let's
Uh,
start at this Perez Hilton story. Now, okay.
go
So
in, please.
so so
Let me
here's
give
the
you
thing.
that time. Go
So
in.
here's the thing. Perez Hilton, absolutely not. Something I absolutely forgot about is that he had like basically like slut shamed Kelly Monaco back in the day. So I'm
Mm,
like, why in the world would this man be invited on screen after he's treated one of our own this way? Then you have to remember how he has treated other people, particularly other queer people. There was a point in time when we were growing up that, and when we were like in our like 20s, that this man was terrorizing people. And folks like even now will talk about how he outed them or they were scared he was going to out them. I watched Glee. People might not have watched that, but the guy who played Artie, Kevin McHale, he talked about how he basically lived in fear being in LA that Perez Hilton was going to out him.
mm,
There was another young woman from, I can't find her name. I'm sorry, all about here. I tweeted about it though, but from the group Fifth Harmony. She was a young Latina, and he posted up pictures of her kissing her girlfriend to like his whole platform years ago. So essentially, she could have been Blaze,
hmm
and we're bringing him on. And I need
mm,
to understand Who in the writer's room thought this was a good idea? Who cares about Perez Hilton? He is not even a get enough. Nobody is, but he's definitely not a get enough to look over all of the other things he's done. If you know who he is like we do, you don't like him. And if you don't know who he is, then what was the point? Someone I follow said something, a friend of mine said something like, we could have just had Cindy Velja, like Chandra Wilson from Grey's Anatomy always comes on and she does like the red carpets. From
Yeah,
She
I
could
was
have
thinking
done
that
this.
too. Yeah,
Anybody else, there was no reason to have Perez Hilton there. And that's before we even saw the story.
right.
It was terrible. It was so clearly not written by anyone who is either queer or in community with queer people. It was bad. Letting um homophobic Maria Santos off the hook, putting it all on Ava. It was offensive. Offensive.
Hmm.
Now, the positive thing I can say about the story, shout out to Blaze's Updo, because I did like that. How did you
Yeah.
feel? How did you feel?
Yeah, I watched it because it was on, and I just wanted to see like how they would try to, rectify supposedly what happened to them. And yeah, I did not agree with them making it all about, well, you know, like Blaze's mom is not the victim. That or is the victim
That
because
was
she is.
crazy.
Yeah, because I was just like, what? The victims are Blaze and Christina. That's who the victims are. And so to kind of take some of the blame away from the mom was crazy to me. It's one thing if they were like, she's 100% wrong and we're going to try to forgive her. That's fine. But to say that she was wronged, she wasn't, because even if her privacy was invaded, she's the one that volunteered the information.
She said what she
She's the one,
said.
she said what she said, and to assume that no one's going to overhear her, or even if Ava didn't record her, Ava could have still would have went out and said, "Your mom said these things to me, and it was, like that would have been hurtful and should have been hurtful. As a mom, you don't go and badmouth your own child, you know?" And
Hmm.
so it's crazy to me that that happened. Um, and then, so for me, my problem with the real reason why I have a problem with Molly is not so much about the whole manufacturing of controversy between her and Christina, but the way that she framed her argument as to why Christina is not worthy of being a mom.
Mm,
And it comes into play. She used the fact that Christina was confused about her sexuality as
yeah,
a
it's trash.
reason that she's not a good mom.
Hmm.
That is trash. Um, and also just kind of like whitewashing the fact that Christina was in an abusive relationship and almost blaming it on her. That was trash. I mean,
Hmm.
just everything she said as to why Christina, even if she had the right, and she does, Christina has every right to hold on to that child because it's her child. Um,
See, it's so funny because I feel so opposite.
well, I mean,
I Christina
biologically, yeah,
biologically, but Christina begged Molly to have that kid.
yes,
It was
exactly.
not.
So,
It was.
yeah,
Sorry. Go ahead.
but
Go ahead.
I agree with that on that instance. But to just call, what pisses me off is just saying that Christina is not worthy of motherhood. That is
Yeah,
100% wrong.
it's definitely
And
wrong for sure. For
um,
sure.
and so I hated that. Um, and it made me mad. Now I
Hmm.
agree. Christina agreed and she signed herself up to do this. And so,
Christina
yes,
begged. Christina
begged
made them feel
herself.
bad for not
Yeah,
wanting her to be the.
exactly. So I don't think Christina is right either. Definitely. I mean, this flimsy reason of, Molly and TJ breaking up, that's not going to happen. And so, yeah, I don't think Christina is right, but for me, I think it personally offended me the way that Molly submitted her arguments, and so that's what like
Yeah.
I couldn't get down with that.
I hear that.
Mm-mm.
I think that because I was so disgusted with Christina prior to this, like
Right,
we have information that Molly kind of doesn't have. And I
right,
think the show wanted people to be on either side and wanted Molly to turn up on her in a way that didn't make sense. But
right.
for me, it made sense because we have seen Christina at every turn trying to keep this baby. And it
Yeah.
goes back to, like I said, it's not as if it would have been a whole different situation if Molly would have asked Christina to do it or if it was whatever. Christina begged to have this baby and was
Hmm.
offended when they were
Hmm.
like, I don't know, because this, you flip
Yeah.
flopping what you're known to do, might happen.
Right.
And so for me, I'm looking at it like, y'all are like, Christina's trying to demonize TJ. What do you mean? In what world that even if TJ and Molly broke up, they're not breaking up today. So even if in
Right.
10 years they broke up, by the time something like that would happen, then you would have TJ Molly would have already been the or been like the legal parent.
Right.
You absolve your parental rights. And like the idea, I don't know. For me, it was like when Molly was like, okay, let's do this. The hesitation from Christina to put into gear Molly being so upset with her
Hmm.
because there should have been no hesitation. First of all,
Hmm.
these papers don't exist. Let's be real. Like, if this existed, they would have already done it. So I don't know what the show was trying to bring into this. This is silly. But her being like, okay, let's just sign this, and then like Christina saying no. This is all of the reasons and all of the things that she has been scared of.
Right.
Christina didn't want any children. That was the point. So for
Hmm.
me, I think Molly was wrong for what she said in that
Hmm.
instance. But and I don't even like Molly, to be honest,
Right.
like in general. But when comes down to this, I'm like, put me in court, Molly. I'm trying to testify for you. This is
Hmm.
absurd.
Hmm.
Christina, annoying, like, what do you? I don't even understand why she was in this Perez Hilton interview, basically talking more than Blaze. The
Hmm.
interview was bad anyway. And then
Right.
when you're
Oh
like,
yeah.
and then when you're
Shoot.
like, oh well, I don't want to talk about this baby. I'm a surrogate and keep it at that. I'm not having a
Yeah.
baby. I'm a surrogate.
She didn't even have to mention Christina. She could have just, or Molly. She could have just said, "I'm a surrogate." That's it.
So yeah, I agree
Hmm.
with you. The things that Molly said were so out of line
Hmm.
at on some point, but at other points, I was like, get her.
Yeah.
I was disgusted. So I think that what happened, and I think that's actually interesting, is that we represent like half of the audience. Like you were like, I cannot believe Christina did this, and I was like, whoa, no, 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 I can't. Or Molly did this, and I'm like,
Right.
no, I'm Team Molly. So I guess if anything they've done right, it's been that, which is to make it polarizing. Because for me, it's so clear.
It is
But
very
yeah, I mean,
polarizing
I do
because
think, yeah, go ahead.
there is this movement where other women are judging women on their ability to be mothers based off of lifestyle choices, and that is super unfair to me, I think. And I guess it hit me personally.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I just like it's crazy to like everyone has the right to be a mom, whether, they're in a long-term relationship or they're in a stable career or if they're not in a stable career. And so to have those reasons as being legitimate in her eyes as why Christina can't be a mom just rubbed me the wrong way to
Mm,
the point where I couldn't see past anything else. I was just
hmm
like,
hmm
I can't.
No, that happens. I
But
think that
you're
happens with
right.
stories. That happens with stories. Like
Yeah.
when you feel it personally, you're
Hmm.
done, and that's
I'm
what it
just
makes a good
like,
story. Though
right.
I don't think this is
So
a good story, but I
it's
do think
not a
that
good
that makes
story.
sense. I do think that makes sense. Like for me,
Right.
I'm really I'm like really clear I don't want to be a parent. I'm very like I love being an
Right.
aunt. I'm very happy being an aunt. I've had my nephews this weekend. I'm like, go back to your mom and them. See you later. I'm gonna spoil
Right.
you. And so for me, I'm like, no, Kristina, not that she doesn't deserve. I think deserving sounds crazy, but I don't. I
Hmm.
think I do think Kristina is like too unstable to be trying to be a parent. You're too
Hmm.
like you all over the place. To your point, I think that the things that Molly pointed out were wild and
Hmm.
really like homophobic and
Hmm.
awful at the
Hmm.
beginning. But there are other things she pointed out who's like, girl, you don't even know what you're doing. And I think that if somebody was trying, like if you look at it as in Kristina is now trying to take Molly's baby, I
Hmm.
understand Molly's her own mother instincts going into high gear. Some of the
Hmm.
problem is that we actually haven't seen Molly try to be a mother. Like whatever is happening is
Right.
off screen. We haven't seen them do a room. We haven't seen them go to appointments. That was by the design of the show. I think that if we
Hmm.
would have seen all of that happen, then more people would be on Molly's side because you would see this
Hmm.
as Christina trying to keep her baby.
Hmm. And the
And
only
now
instances where
it
we've
feels like it's
seen,
not.
yeah, the only instances we've seen Molly have any kind of instinct towards motherhood was when she had her, I guess, her miscarriage, and then also when I guess she was just she saw was it Wiley and out in the streets and she was like, "Oh, he's so cute," and "Oh, I want to hug him," and all that other stuff. But other than that, we had never seen Molly have any kind of interaction with or any thought about having children until this storyline came along. And so, like, we don't see her babysitting other kids. We don't see her doing, or, just doing anything around motherhood. And so that's why it kind of put me off because I'm like, what makes Molly any more of a better mother than Christina when it comes down to it? There's a lot of women out there that don't necessarily display instinctual motherhoodness, right? Even some people get pregnant by accident because they never know. But once the pregnancy happens and they have the baby, they can be the most awesome mother ever. You just don't know that right off the bat. So to judge anyone on their ability to be a good mom just is really rubs me the wrong way.
I
Um,
probably rub you the
so,
wrong way because I'd be like, people shouldn't have babies. I'm very
well,
pro that. I'm very much like, but I don't. But I see
yeah.
what you're saying, and I see it from your perspective. I think
Hmm.
that for me, the perspective that I see it from is you that this isn't Christina's baby,
Right. That's very true. It's not
like,
Christina's baby.
and so it's
So
not
for
even
her
that
to take it, yeah, is
it's
wrong.
not even that we don't see Molly like portraying all these other things of motherhood. What I really mean is
Right.
that we don't see Molly and TJ because the show has cut them out of the story and they don't know how to tell a good
Hmm.
story. We don't see them getting ready for this particular baby. And
Yeah.
I think that the show and the writers try to do this like really manipulative thing to tell a different kind of story because if we would see Molly and TJ like at the doc. I mean, because we actually saw that with Dante and Lulu
Hmm.
with the Maxie story. We saw
Hmm.
Dante and Lulu getting ready for their baby,
Right.
and that is because that set of writers, I think, allowed people to like feel how they felt, and it wasn't so heavy handed. It wasn't like you're
Right.
supposed to be on this side or you're supposed to be on whatever side. I think that this set of writers kind of want us to be on Kristina's side,
Hmm.
and because of that, that means that we haven't seen Molly and TJ prepare their lives for a baby. And so in my
Hmm.
head, because we don't see so much on screen, in my mind, I'm like, okay, these are two people who believe they're going to be parents.
Hmm.
That you are essentially the incubator that you asked to be for their baby,
Hmm.
and now you're saying I don't want to give the baby up because what if y'all break up? So Molly 100% like was wrong. I didn't like a lot of the stuff that she said, but I
Hmm.
saw her own mother instincts kicking in to be like, here is this threat to my kid.
Hmm.
And I think it's easy to not see that because the show hasn't ever seen her, hasn't let us show her, hasn't shown us. Let me talk. Can't talk today. The show hasn't shown us that she cares about this kid. Everything
Right.
that may have happened has been happening off screen. And so
Right.
TJ and Molly have just been made to look like monsters when really like Kristina is cutting them out of this baby's life. It was why the
Hmm.
TJ stuff felt like over the top. What do you mean TJ telling her she can't be with her dad? That was silly.
Yeah,
So like they have
that
like
is silly.
they've written them to be over the top and unsympathetic so that people can have sympathy for Kristina, and I have no sympathy for Kristina.
Hmm.
So anyway, and I just think overall the story that they're telling with Kristina and Blaze and the story that they're telling, it's on so much and it is so bad. And it is really unfortunate because both of these stories could have been good. This
Hmm.
like the queer community turned their back on Christina and Blaze because Blaze was in the closet. Unrealistic. Unrealistic and ridiculous. Not even
Hmm.
something that made sense to do. And if I was Perez Hilton, I mean, I could never because I'm not terrible. Like, I'd have looked at this story and been like, what are y'all doing over here? It's just, I don't know. It's bad. Let's
Yeah.
move on to another bad story. We talked about it for a long time. Let's move on to another bad story. Um, Jason versus Anna.
Ooh.
Listen, you know I love Anna. You know I love Anna down. When she was talking to Jason, she sounded ridiculous. She's like, when are you and Carly gonna ever pay for your crimes? And yes, Queen, I wouldn't even be mad at you if you didn't just let Valentine go. Like if that would have happened in
Right.
a in a bubble, and the Valentine thing wouldn't have happened, I'd be like, oh yeah, Anna has every right to read them. Like Carly, Jason, y'all out here, y'all been wilding. This is the chickens coming home to roost.
Hmm.
Anna, babe, similar to
What
Christina
you
asking
want?
to be a part of this pregnancy, you asked to be a part of this investigation. And so
Hmm. Yeah.
the expectation was something different. It just, I was very mad at how they wrote my girl. I didn't like that.
Oh.
I didn't like it.
Right. And then she had no clue that her decision making would affect so many different people. Like, I thought that also was a compelling scene was between her and Laura.
Mm,
Laura's like, "Where's my grandchild?" and all this, and so Laura having no children on this canvas, lost her grandchild. She only has, little Ace. Man, and Anna is just not realizing, oh my God, I did this to Laura.
yeah, I mean,
That was awkward.
it was really awkward,
Yeah.
and it just also, even when like Anna was going at like Jagger and
Hmm.
like, look, I am fine with Anna being like a character that colors in between the lines. If Anna was just straight laced, I don't think I would like her. But I gotta call out the hypocrisy when I see it.
Hmm.
And so I just felt, I don't know, I just didn't, I wasn't feeling it. It was like when she was like Jason's a good man. So she had this one conversation with Jason where she was like, you need to take responsibility. And I'm like, yeah, point, you're right. And then the next day she talks to Jagger and she's like, Jason's a good man. Well,
Which is
how
it?
is Sonny terrible? How have you turned on Sonny to this point? But Jason is a good man.
Yeah,
What
because
is
Jason is the one that did most of the crimes.
it's just
He
a
was the
very weird,
enforcing.
and I get it, and I actually hate when Anna is opposite of Jason and Sonny because the show refuses to let them be anything but good. I mean, like right now, Sonny has the plot armor of not having his meds. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I actually hate because anytime they have people be the opposite of Jason and Sonny, the people always end up looking kind of ridiculous. Like Ava is now, like Anna. Anna doesn't look ridiculous to the same extent as Ava, but it does look like really hypocritical.
Hmm.
And there's not a moment that they're giving her to like sit in the hypocrisy. Like I like my characters if they I mean, look, I'm a hypocrite sometimes too, so I'm not mad about that. But I need you to like but I need you to like I need that to be like acknowledged. I need you to
Hmm.
like know and to like say to yourself like, damn, I guess I'm doing this. Similar to Ava.
I feel like Ava has that moment in her head, and she just reconciles with the fact that she's doing wrong, and she's like, "Well, I'm gonna be wrong, 10 toes down wrong. I don't care."
Hmm.
She lives with it.
Just like when Anna asked Sonny, like, oh, you don't trust me? No, you don't trust me. You basically told him he was trash. What are we talking about?
Hmm.
And so I don't know. I do hope I know that this like the other writer, Pat, um, his stuff runs I think until sometime in August. I
Hmm.
don't know. I hope they find a way to like level balance. And so again, I don't mind. You know, Anna's my girl. She can whatever. We gonna make some excuses for her. We gonna do what it does. But I just don't like it being different from day to day, and I don't like her not to make any sense at all. And then to not also like sit with, because that's also been a strength of the character of Anna, is
Hmm.
that you see her be a person who like contemplates. We've had a lot of scenes in the past over the entire run of Anna where she will be like thinking about all of the contradictions that she has to hold.
Hmm.
And we just aren't getting those scenes, and that's a little stressful as an Anna fan. I'm like, what's going on? Also, um, Pikeman, I just call him Pikeman, is gone from jail. Where is he
I
at?
was like, you called her Pike. That's a good question. Where did Brennan disappear to? And why is Pentonville going along with it? Like,
And
yeah, he
why
was
is he
never here.
John again?
I just, like, I don't understand how a huge prison system is just gonna be like, yeah, he was never here. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, for real?
As if people ain't visited him, all kind of stuff. I'm just like, what's
Right.
happening here? I
Exactly.
so I mean, come back because I'm tired of having to see Charlie, and my choice for Carly's new man is Brennan.
Me too. I like that. It's crazy. I want him to come back, and I want him the want the like what I'm hoping is that the charges are magically dropped because the video and the audio has disappeared, and John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith is looking like, oh my God, I'm an idiot, and then FBI is like, what the fuck? And sorry, oh, I'm in church too.
It's
Sorry,
because I'm a
God.
heathen and I inspired that I bring that out of you. I'm so sorry, church. I'm so sorry.
Whew. Anyway, so I hope that FBI is just like, let's pull this man off the case, or it looks like they're leaning towards murdering him. Because I
Yeah,
don't know.
but I think the other thing with Brennan though is like there is actually no proof of so like now they're like, oh, maybe Jagger has to put on him or whatever. But Valentine is piping in, so like there's really no reason for Brennan to like still have charges.
Exactly. And what I'm thinking is that the WSB and Pikeman are like, okay, so Valentine is ghost. We need somebody else to come in. Let's pull Brennan out of jail. That's what I'm thinking. Um, and then when he does that, he's like, okay, I'll do it if you drop the charges against Carly.
I
I
like
don't know.
it.
You know, I
Okay,
made up
put you
that
in a
story.
writer's room.
Exactly. But
Um,
I do. I want him to come back because he's fun and funny and handsome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sunny versus Ava for custody. Ava asking Nina to like speak on her behalf. I said, why are you writing all my girls as being silly? Of course she's not gonna do that for you.
Right. At the same time, it kind of it's one of the reasons why I love Ava so much is because she, again, she owns her evilness. She owns when she's bad, but then she's also pretty vulnerable and she shows it and she's not. So I don't know if the whole I need a friend right now is real. It's probably not. It's probably more manipulative, but it goes to the range of Maura West and her acting ability is just amazing to me. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know how both of them are just like on the record or kind of just not good role models. So I don't know how either of them win custody. If this actually goes to court, any decent judge will be like, okay, I'm taking this child away from both of y'all because
from
y'all
both
are a
of
hot
y'all,
mess.
from both of y'all.
A
I
hot
mean,
mess.
I did laugh because I'm like, if you're Ava looking at Nina, you're probably like, "Damn, girl, you took this baby shirt out of my cooch, like, and now you saying
Right.
that we not friends because I took your man and I don't got him no more. These are not even.
Like you owe me.
You
You owe me for taking
and
my
now,
child. That's the least you can do is testify on my behalf so I can keep my child.
okay, and now you got Jagger, um, and Ava talking like now Jagger trying to set everything up. My favorite line was her talking. She's like, "He shot a Quartermain." Like
What was
Sunny
it?
shot a when she
Oh, he
talked
shot
about
a
Sunny,
corner
she's
man.
like, he shot a Quartermain. Like, you're not gonna
You
be able to get
killed
him.
Connie.
Well, no, no, no. But I think she was like her
Yeah.
point was like, you're not about to be able to get him out the paint. Like he
Right.
shot a Quartermain, and he's still
Yeah.
out here.
Right.
Their kiss was very weird and creepy and looked very predatory. I didn't like it.
Like Willow and Drew's kiss. It was just I
No,
was like,
I didn't find their kiss to be that way.
I
I
did.
mean,
I
it was
couldn't even look
weird.
at it.
Oh, yeah, no,
I was
it was
like,
weird. Um, it was weird because of who they were, but she kissed him more than she ever kissed Michael. It was like when he like was touching her hair. Jagger just hasn't been made a character that I care about enough. And he just seems like a creepy like dude who overuses his power. He's still mad about Karen and stuff like and so like that and then the situation with Ava just feels predatory. I don't know. I just ugh,
you know what? I kind of agree. I cannot picture him in any kind of relationship at all.
I'm
Like
not
I
a
can't.
fan.
I'm not a fan of him as a character, and unfortunately, that actor playing him just doesn't seem right. He just seems like a really obnoxious, angry white man versus someone that grew up where Jagger is supposed to have grown up. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
seeing it. And yeah. And not, I mean, I don't know the actor in real life or as a person. Um, and so this is not to knock him as an individual. It's just he's the wrong, I think, person to play this character
Mm,
to me. And I don't like it.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's not good. Um,
but
yeah,
he can turn on the evil really well. It's like almost
mhm,
he flips a switch and it's just like, I'm gonna be an evil,
jerk.
now let me curse, jerk in a heartbeat.
Hmm.
And it's interesting to me. So shout out to that skill. But yeah, I don't like him carrying this character.
Yeah, no shade to him. I just don't.
Right.
I'm not a fan. I haven't been a fan since he's been around.
Yeah.
Another interesting scene, speaking of this like custody battle, was Michael and Sunny. Did Sunny like
Ooh,
go off on Michael?
just for like again, for no reason. And Diane, the way Diane was like, Sonny, he's right. And he was still like, no, he's just being wrong. And I was just like, you're not even listening to your lawyer right now.
Yeah, it does feel like they're really playing Michael up as like this even-headed, like
Right.
strategic, whatever. I think that when Michael gets Sunny back is when he's gonna find out about Willow and Drew, and then Sunny wants to go hard at Drew. That's my hope.
Michael is about to go hard or Sunny's gonna go hard?
Sunny,
Oh, yeah,
he
like if no one catches him on his meds anytime soon, yep, Drew will be the next person
Well,
for
I
sure.
I hope that they let everything even out and for Michael and
Hmm.
Sunny to like make amends because right now what Sunny has is the plot armor of the Meds. Once
Right.
they figure that out, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my God, we love you so much! Can't believe this happened!" Like it's gonna be like a whole different. Everybody's gonna forgive him. So
Hmm.
once Michael and Sunny get back in good relationship, is when I want the Drew and Willow, and then Sunny's back on his meds,
Hmm.
So that like Sunny can go off on Drew in a way that supports Michael, because he's been a jerk to Michael, and Michael deserves a father.
Yes. And then I hope also that by the time the Willow and Drew thing comes off, that Sasha will see that Cody is nothing and she needs to leave him alone and go back to Michael.
And go back to Michael, yeah.
Yep.
You know what? Look at us agree. I've always liked Michael and Sasha better than anything that they've had Michael doing. I liked
Right.
Sasha and Brando. They were fine.
Yeah.
Um, and I yeah, but if yeah, I like Michael and Sasha. He was like a really good. Um, she was really good for him.
Hmm.
She
And
made
he
him a
was
more
super
interesting character.
romantic with her too.
Yeah, yeah. And it wasn't all like Michael's so boring. It's just like everybody in that like younger age group is so boring, and all of the action is for like Carly, Sunny, Jason in that grouping, and then like Anna
Hmm.
and Valerie. But like everybody else is so boring. Like Michael and Willow are domesticated. You never see
Hmm.
the young adults. Like what do they be doing? It's just
Right.
Like a cook. Like what is going on? Anyway,
I mean, we see Maxie a lot because of Crimson and all that. Not Crimson, but what's that show? What's that thing?
deception.
Deception. We see her a lot, and she seems to have, I guess, a different storyline, even though they're all kind of in the same age group. But since Maxie's a mom, it's almost as if she's even like they play her older than they, even though they're they're not real.
Who
Well, I don't know,
Michael?
because Michael's a dad too, but he still does not seem as mature and adult as Maxie in some ways.
Maxie's older than him.
Yeah,
Maxie is closer in age to like. Actually, I don't know what they're doing with their age, but Maxie's older than Michael.
I know, technically she is, but for some reason they're all hanging out together, like they're all in the
Yeah,
same age group.
yeah. I don't
I
know.
don't know.
They don't know what to do
It's
with
weird.
them. They're just like
They don't.
have these babies. They're like they're like here, y'all age group has these babies, and these babies impact every single thing that you do. Meanwhile, you have something like Carly be like, okay, I'm about to get arrested, even though I told Sonny he couldn't have Donna.
And
But now
now Sunny's the
I'm
one
watching.
watching Donna. Now Sunny's the one watching Donna because she's in jail.
It was I liked the scene where Carly was going at Jagger.
Oh, that
But
was
the
so bomb.
talking in a
Right.
circle all the other time of her and Jason being like, I'm gonna turn myself in. I'm not gonna turn myself in. Don't turn yourself in. I'm gonna go on this bus. All of that nonsense, silly. Nobody wanted to see it, or at least I didn't. But the scenes with her and Jagger, where she was like, when Jocelyn was in the back, like, what is going on?
And
Where
she was
Sunny
like,
was watching, like, kind of proud, like, huh. Like all of that was really good.
oh yeah. It was all it was like, especially like first the scenes beforehand, like Carly and Sunny, right? Man, she was pointing out to him, name one person that's on your side that will defend you no matter what. And he was like, you. And then she was like, you know what? We stood in the same room and you called me trash. I'm not gonna
Call me a
do this.
traitor. Yep.
I was like, she got a point, she got you there. And even then, it still hasn't clicked to him. Something's wrong right now. That I would call the one person that would defend me no matter what a traitor. Why isn't
Hmm.
it clicking to him? Um, and then, his instinct is to protect her as well. And so when she turns herself in, he jumps into, I am not letting you go to jail.
Right.
So no matter what goes on between them, they always will have that connection. And so it was very amazing scenes. But the funny thing to me, what I was thinking was when he was in the jail cell, and as soon as he walked towards those cups, I was thinking he's gonna slam those cups across the room. And
Luckily,
but
they were not
every
barware.
Yeah, but every time he does something where he's about to throw something or he's about to hit something, everyone acts shocked and surprised. But for me, it's like, I know what's coming. He's about to hit the table, or he's about to throw a glass, or he's about to do this. And I'm always wondering, why are they so shocked? Because you know
Hmm.
what's going to happen. And so I just had that funny thought. Like, I know when he's about to go off any minute, but all
Hmm.
the characters act like, oh my God. They act so
Hmm.
startled. It's crazy.
That's
But
really
yeah,
funny.
those are great scenes.
Yeah, this is again the plot armor of not being on those meds, and they're gonna blame
Right.
Ava. So like now Valentine's gone. You don't know his like necessary connection to it. Ava doesn't
Oh
even know he's the
yeah.
person, and
Right.
she's the one who told his doctor to take him off completely. So
Yep.
she's gonna be
He's gonna
blamed
get
for
it.
all of that. In the
Yep.
same way that she's now been blamed for everything with homophobic Maria Santos.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're
I
piling on
hope
her.
I hope they don't kick her off the show because
Yeah,
she's the best thing on there almost. So
they're piling on her. It's
yeah,
bad.
very
Well, speaking
bad.
of Drew and Willow, weird, creepy. What is going on here?
Right. You see that like when she gave him his watch and he was holding on her. I was like, can you not? Can you not
Even
stop wanting her, lusting after her, please?
even Michael knew, or even Wiley knew what was up. Wiley was like, "Get out of
Right.
here."
Like no one invited you.
Then
Yeah, I don't think.
we got Michael asking Nina for a favor for Carly. So weird. I'm just like, why does Nina have to be in this story? Hate it.
Well, I
Hate
mean,
it.
yeah, and she's acting like, you know, they had come to agreement that they were going to do a truce, but she still acts hella salty to him. And I was like, what happened to the truce? What happened to the trying to get along? Why are you talking to him like that?
She don't know. She's just doing whatever.
You know? And
Yeah.
she's like, if I do this, then the slate must be clean. It was clean. You're the one giving the attitude. I'm going off in this church. She's making me mad.
Nina deserves it always. And then the last thing I had on my list was that we had, because this week was pretty just heavy with that. We had Tracy warning Luke. And
Yeah.
I was like, is this kind of like a precursor to Lucky coming home?
Yeah. So there's a lot of little scenes that seem to be a precursor to Lucky. The fact that Laura and Dante were in the room with Lulu,
Hmm.
um, mourning Luke, um,
Charlotte being
I
gone
think
with.
Charlotte's gone. It's interesting how it's being set up. And they keep saying he's coming in the summer. It's almost end of summer. So so he only got a couple of weeks before he needs to be
It's time.
showing up. Yeah, and it could be a thing. I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping that he's not somewhere off in, Tanzania and we're seeing him kidnapped somewhere or whatever, and then Port Charles doesn't see him until December. Please, God, please let him show up in Port Charles and everybody see him. Because I don't
Yeah.
want any plot like that. That's no.
I
Um,
wonder if we're gonna have him somewhat connected to Pikeman, because they have
oh.
to like explain his absence. And so we know that like Mac was gone, something with Frisco, but we don't know what it was
Know what it
yet.
was. Yeah.
So I do wonder if all of that will be connected, which will make sense. Like having like all these like these stories that are disconnected don't make sense. So we might as well have something. They're gonna have to explain where he's been. They're gonna have to explain why he been a deadbeat. Let's
Right.
like
And
let's get
all
it
of
done.
Liz's, I'm sorry, that's kind of a little spoilerish, but basically all of Liz's men are going to be in town.
Right. I mean, we can talk about it because the one thing, like the two things that keep me excited are like that Rick Hurst is coming back and that
Yeah.
Jonathan Jackson's coming back. And so
Yeah.
I do wonder what Rick is coming back. My initial thought was that he would be coming back to support Molly, but maybe there's something else. Maybe he's coming back to support Ava.
Well, yeah, the article that I read about it was something about like he was saying like, or was it him or somebody else was saying that he's coming back to defend Molly in a
Hmm.
case or something like that. But I hope it's more than that because Molly's situation will be done and over with in a couple of weeks if he's in there.
Yeah. I mean, he'll probably stay around, hopefully, for longer. I was excited to
Right.
see him come back. He just kind of disappeared out of nowhere. So
Yeah. And like Lucky, him coming back has a lot of import to a lot of different people, whether it's Molly and Alexis, Sunny, Elizabeth. I mean, he's got tentacles all over the city, so
here we go.
it'll be an interesting time.
Yeah. The only other thing that like is kind of unrelated is I just wanted to like shout out that Tatiana wrote an op-ed
Yeah.
that she posted on her socials just about like bullying and racist bullying. So go ahead and make sure you support her and read her article. Um, yeah, you
Yeah.
know, I
Oh, what
appreciated
about,
her saying that the show had her back. That's good.
yeah, that's
What about
amazing.
what now? Tell me.
I was
I
gonna
probably
say,
missed it.
what about the new boy and Lois? Some folks are thinking that Lois is lying about who his
Oh
parents are.
yeah, I did see that, and that it might be like her and Sunny, which I'm like,
Funny.
please don't do that. But it might be, and it could be. They might not know because you remember he said he recognized Jason. So I thought maybe his dad was Drew
Oh.
because Drew would have looked like Jason, and then he would have,
Mm-hmm.
and they would have. I think they didn't they think he died or went AWOL or something. I don't know. Either way, maybe it's not good to keep giving Drew random babies,
Right.
or random grown kids.
Right.
Um, I think I would just like for something to happen and for people to be doing something because right now it's like what we're watching is like Yap Hospital. Like nobody's doing anything, everybody's just yapping. There's no movement, it's just like people standing around, look at each other, teary eyed, talking.
Mm.
Let's get some, let's go. Let's get some
Well, I mean,
things.
yeah, now that Carly's arrested, that made things exciting a little bit.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right. So that's exciting. But nothing else is exciting.
It just for me, General Hospital always used to be like the adventure show. Like Luke
Right.
was always having an adventure. Anna obviously was always having an adventure. Jason was always having an adventure. Like Jason and Sam specifically would have adventures. What's happening? Like it's just literally yapping.
Hmm.
Let's go. Let's do something.
Well, they're starting filming again, so everyone's back from vacation. And I don't know if they have new writers yet, but it looks like one lady's leaving or somebody's leaving. I don't know. But
I'm about to be in the
yeah,
writers.
you're right.
I'm gonna show up to the writers' room like Kim Kardashian. Like nobody wants to work anymore. Okay.
Oh,
Like I've
well,
had enough.
I've already wrote a little story that you've pointed out, and sure, if they come to us, writers, you are welcome to come on our show, and we can give you some ideas. We can talk about it.
Plenty,
Um, please DM us.
please. We have so much to say, and y'all just really have y'all are not anyway. So
Right.
there are. I want to read the spoilers for next week, and then there's one, and I want to speculate with you before we go.
Okay.
All right. So the spoilers I want to speculate about is on Friday, but Monday, Dante pleads with Sunny. Carly receives an offer. Jason raises the PCPD. TJ is flummoxed. Is that how you say it?
Is
Flummoxed?
Phil Phil what?
I think it's supposed to be frustrated. Anyway,
Okay.
that's not how it's said. Flummoxed. I can't. Yeah.
Flummoxed.
Is it flummoxed?
Yes. Yes.
I've never said
You
it. I've
said
only written it.
you
Flummoxed.
said Philomuxed. I was like,
It's like Target and Tarjay. Don't judge me.
okay.
Don't judge me, y'all. Please. Here we are. Alexis addresses an important matter with Kristina.
Mm.
Tuesday, Carly has her day in court. Things get heated between Sonny and Jagger. We did see Sonny like leave like with the gun.
With
Like
a gun, right?
Sonny, get your shit together. Um, Anna makes a shocking discovery. Nina is grateful to Willow. Also, when you see Nina and Willow scenes or she's like helping her, it's like she's helping her with like her kindergarten homework. She's like, good, yeah. I'm like,
Good
Nina, oh
job.
my God. Alexis counsels Molly. Wednesday, Sunny won't listen to reason. Anna shares a theory with Jason. Ava gets bad news. Kristina and Molly hash things out. John makes an offer. Thursday, Alexis is put on the spot. Molly confides in Sam. Brooklyn makes a pitch to Blaze. Sunny lashes out. Christina is on the warpath. Trina gets an eyeful.
Mm.
Friday, Jocelyn leaps into action. Dante makes an arrest. TJ gets alarming news. Sunny alienates a friend. A medical crisis devastates a family. So Bradford, who plays Spinelli, reads the spoilers every week, and so he kind of goes a little bit more in depth. And so for the Friday one, he was basically like, "Get your tissues ready. It's going to be like a big deal. Whatever, whatever."
Mm.
What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I mean, people have been hinting that Christina might lose the baby, but I don't think that's going to be what's going to bring folks to tissues and tears because it's not shocking. So it sounds like I don't know, something's going to happen with some another family, but I don't know
You
what.
know what I think it might be? I think that there might be something that happens to Avery
Oh.
because Sonny's out of control. He's not in control of himself. Like the only reason I think it's not um Kristina is because that kind of is a waste of a story. Like you have a whole
Hmm.
custody battle that you've set up.
Right.
And if
So
Rick's
yeah.
coming back, like, that kind of doesn't make sense. It's possible, who knows? But I just
Right.
think if I'm thinking about who could bring a lot of people together, like
Uh-huh.
Joss leaping into action, whatever,
Yeah.
that sounds like something might have happened to Avery.
Oh man. Oh, and then let's not forget, um, Morgan is supposed to come back,
Yeah,
right?
that's
And
right.
so he's coming back to counsel Sunny as a ghost or some sort. Yeah, maybe
I
he's
think
doing like like they did before with having one guy who's already dead come and pick up the the newly dead person. Maybe he's gonna make sure that Avery makes it across the Golden Gates, and then
that's a
he goes
lot. That'd
back.
be a lot to do to Ava.
Oh my God, that would be a lot to do to Ava, but again, it's the type of thing that will again pull her up and start thinking about her actions. And the same way, because she had to be devastated by Kiki's death in order to really change. Um, and oh my God, what that would do to Sunny. Oh man, that would be, oh my God, poor Avery.
Not just saying poor Avery as if she's already gone and that's like not speculative. You're gonna like poor Avery. I can't believe they did this to her.
Oh my God, I'm starting to cry right now. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh goodness. All right, friends. Or there's also Danny.
Oh, that's true, huh?
He could be doing something with a motorcycle.
Yep. Oh man. I'm not looking forward to seeing this devastation.
Because the other thing is that the actor who plays Jake, Hudson West, when somebody was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, you're going away to school, like that means you're gonna be gone," he said he wasn't gonna be like off, like I mean, like basically, we don't really see him a lot anyway. But he said he
right.
wasn't like
Leaving.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
he might actually not.
if something happens to
Sometimes with
Danny,
Danny, then he'll come back.
yeah,
Oh man. GH.
I don't want that to happen to my girl Sam either. Ugh.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
you could just kill Cody.
Oh God, yes, that would be amazing.
I knew I can get you.
Must see
I
TV
knew I can make you
indeed.
excited with that.
Must see TV. Oh yeah.
Well, whatever happens, make sure y'all like, you subscribe, you share, you tell a friend to tell a friend about us. I'm gonna put in the note because I think that some people probably just like go away at the when I do the previews for people to stick around and also leave their
Uh,
speculation
oh yeah.
in the chat.
Leave leave the speculation in the chat. I want to hear what the different ideas are.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We will see
All
you
right.
next week. Hopefully, you have your tissues ready because I'm sure whatever happens that's gonna be devastating will devastate me. Uh, and we will see you then. Bye.
Bye.